What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to jump on here real quick. We're going to be talking with DeWiz today at the PGA show. So again, another device I was very excited to see, in this whole game improvement. We've seen so much technology going on with, hey, let's make launch monitors, ways for people to hit and practice in different variety of locations, all that stuff. But seeing the technology then transfer over to, let's make devices that help people get better or help coaches understand what's going on, or get out on the golf course and let's see what's happening out there. That is really interesting stuff to me. And that's some of the favorite things that I saw from this device. I'll send you over there to the whole video, but this is a device that was introduced to me. I've known about it for a little bit, but really got talking to Scott Cokes, who is a coach up in Canada, who I've worked with on my teaching and my game a little bit of late, and he really brought it up and said, hey, you should really check this out. So without further ado, we'll head to the convention center and we're going to be talking to DeWiz.
All right, here we are. All right, everybody, we are here. We are at DeWiz. We're here with Matt. He is going to take us through. This is a wearable technology that I've heard a lot about. You guys are fairly new to the golf world. 2021, you said?
Summer 2021, yeah.
Yeah, so fairly new. It's really gotten the buzz from some really respected names, I would say, in the teaching world. And so that got my attention to come check it out. And I think it's something that could help a lot of you out at home in trying to get better with your golf game. So Matt, let's start off with, what is DeWiz?
Awesome. Yeah, so it's a wearable tech company. We're based in Sweden. Like you said, we launched back in the summer of 2021. So been on the market now for about a year and a half. This is our first floor experience at the PGA show. So we were here last year, didn't have a floor spot. So excited to be here, kind of demonstrating our product to a lot of people. But basically what it is you're wearing it on your lead wrist, connects to an app that we see right here on your phone, tablet, whatever it is that you use at home. And we're tracking all kinds of metrics related to that lead wrist in the golf swing. So we can look in here. I can take you through the app.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so you go ahead, you fire it up. It's like an Apple Watch, yeah?
Yep. So you just line up. One thing to always kind of be mindful of when you have this is you do want to be still at address for about a second. You'll hear the tone come from the app, and you'll also see it light up green.
Yep.
So you get that tone. I take a swing.
So you could do this without a club.
And I can do this without a club. Yep.
Very cool.
So it's going to take that swing right away, and it's going to convert it into this three-dimensional avatar that we see right here. So I can trace it back, we can flip it around, we can look at it from the face-on view, and I can track the hand path throughout the swing, blue line, backswing, green line, downswing, and underneath of the avatar, something that you talked about beforehand and what a lot of coaches seem to be using this for is tracking the hand speed throughout the course of the swing. So we can go through every point, and then we identify where we have the maximum hand speed, and down here we can see where in relation to impact of the ball we're going to get that number. So something that we see, used a lot by coaches and long drivers alike.
Yeah, and we talked about that, and I know we were talking to a guy that just won the World Long Drive last year. He was talking about how you need to speed up your hands to be able to hit the ball far.
Yeah.
And distance is a big deal right now in the game of golf. So we got a bunch of metrics here. We can obviously see, like I said, max hand speed. We've got length of backswing. That's actually a big one.
Yeah.
Because arc length, or how wide your arc is, stuff like that, right? That's going to play into it.
So a couple different use cases there. One being on the full swings, making sure that we keep the length in that swing to be able to add distance, get more speed, get more distance.
Right.
And then from a shorter game perspective of taking the wedge game example of take my 9 o'clock swing, my 10 o'clock swing, half swing, hip high, whatever your terminology is for using it in the wedge game.
Right.
Now being able to put a measurement on that to know if, all right, did I hit my 9 o'clock swing?
Right.
Was I able to do that?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it from that standpoint. Very helpful to be able to, hey, all right, I got to go out and dial in some distances. Am I really dialing them in where I need to be?
Exactly.
So that's really helpful. I'm also noticing like tempo, stuff like that, important. What's the transition number here?
Yeah, transition number is going to measure from the top of the backswing. It's a distance measurement comparison between the backswing and the downswing plane. So a positive number would indicate coming over the top in transition. A negative would be coming underneath of the backswing plane.
Shallow, getting shallow, right?
Yep.
So this could help for that over the top slicer. They're
Exactly.
going to see a positive number coming in on that as they're going
Exactly.
through it. So I see we have some pronation, supination.
Yeah.
So turning of the arm.
Exactly. That's through the first 4 inches of the transition. Am I steepening the club in transition, which would be rotating the wrist that way, and then shallowing the club in transition would be a negative number that we would see there as well. These 3 at the bottom, these initial downswing directions and the pronation, supination, these are new metrics that we just launched back in December. So these are very new to the platform.
Very cool. So you're taking, what I like is you're taking something that I think gets overlooked, which is, the arm, hands, that type of thing, the parts that are closest to the club, which have a huge impact on where the club is going to go, and you're letting people see those, measure them, and you're doing it in a very easy way to do it, right? So, in connection there, how does it connect?
Yeah, connects via Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Battery life will last you up to about 13 hours of use, so it's not something where if you're a coach, all right, I got Johnny coming in at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I use it with him. I got to charge it again before Susie comes in at 11. This will give you a full day's worth of battery life. I can give an example of, I played 100 holes of golf earlier this year in the 100-hole hike.
Oh, nice.
Started at 6:30 in the morning, played all the way through the day, tracked every swing that I made, and I still had about a quarter battery left by 7 o'clock.
And so if we go through and say in that scenario, because that just spawned something there, is taking it on the course.
Yep.
Take it on the course, see what you do when you're practicing versus, hey, I hit it really good on the range, but why can't I hit it good on the golf course? So it's going to track swings continuously as you go.
So if you're playing a round of golf, I always tell people just go into discovery mode. You can put it there. That's where you're going to get just the blanket of your numbers. You're going to be able to see it right there, connect it, and just let it run. And what I like to do is, if I'm hitting the ball well, all right, let me go back and check and verify and see if I can confirm that I'm seeing the numbers that I'm accustomed to seeing, during my practice. If I'm not hitting the ball well, that's where I really might want to pay attention and take a look and see, okay, is my transition creeping back up? And the average, like I said, the average player can go out and do this by themselves. We also have a on-course tournament mode that is approved by the rules of golf to play in actual tournament golf. Annika Sorenstam, one of our ambassadors last week at the Hilton Grand Vacations here in Orlando, she wore it throughout the entire tournament. We were able to track every swing that she made over the course of the round. So basically, for that tournament application, put it on the wrist, put your phone in the bag. You're not going to be able to access any of the data. Obviously, you're not going to look at it throughout the round, but that connection will track every swing that you make over the course of the round, and you'll be able to access it afterwards.
That's really cool. That's a big, as a coaching standpoint, but I think for any player that's out there trying to improve, that's always one of the biggest challenges is from going from level to level to level, whether it's, hey, I got to learn what I'm doing wrong, go into, all right, now I know what to do, I can do it on the range, now I got to do it on the course, and then if you're a competitive player, you got to do it in competition. So that's really, really cool. So if people want to go ahead, I see you have, is there some feedback modes that are on it? So so I've heard some vibration or some buzzing or shocking maybe even?
Yeah, so we can go into the individual practice modes here, and the idea kind of behind DeWiz in the first place is identifying kind of your numbers when you're hitting the ball well, and then what leads to miss hits. So for some people, maybe it's your backswing gets too short. For other people, they have a wide variance in their transition, which leads to, left misses, right misses, just no consistency. So what we can do is go into the app, and depending on what it is that we're working on, we'll use the example of the slicer that has that high over the top transition. We can go right in here and we can set parameters for that player. So I can say, all right, I'm currently at 3.5 inches over the top. We want to work that to get that player more on plane. We can go in, create a setting and a parameter, and then we activate what we call the learning stimuli. So these 2 plates on the inside of the device. Now when I swing, if I break and cross over that 2.5-inch threshold that I have set for myself, I'm going to get a small little electrical impulse right there on my wrist at the very instant I cross over that threshold. And that's going to indicate and let me know in real time that I have broken that parameter that I've set.
I like that too. It's going to give you when it happens, right? So that's cool. So, hey, get a little torture training while you do this too. So that's awesome. And that feedback part, everybody needs that, right? So it's not only just from the data, but hey, what am I doing? When am I doing it during the swing? So
absolutely,
really cool. So if people are going to get it, how do they get started with it? What's it cost to start with?
Yeah, so we retail for $6.99. We sell to PGA and industry professionals at a 20% discount. So the price for PGA professionals is $559.20. We have a reseller program with our coaches all across the U.S. and the world that are using it today. So we can provide more information about that. You can go to our website, www.dewizgolf.com. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at DeWiz
And when you get it, you're getting all this and no annual fees, anything like that?
Yep, you're paying for the hardware. The app is a free app in the Apple or Android store. You can actually download the app without having a device. If you want to check it out at home, get an idea of what the app is, what kind of data it is that you'll be looking at, you can download it before you get the device as well.
Awesome stuff. Really, really cool. So DeWiz, it's one of those things actually that we talk about all the time. Hey, you need to be having that feedback. You need to understand why you're getting, where you're at and why it's not working. I mean, don't just hit balls and it's just a wonder. You got to have some way to do it. And so getting feedback in a very easy to use way, in a way that's going to be effective. There's a lot of studies about how you get your feedback and getting a little bit of feedback on when you get it. So that's really helpful. And that's all the stuff that's going to help you make a better golfer. And if you're actually going to change something to be a better golfer, this is the stuff I like to see as a coach, and really cool stuff, Matt. So thank you for having us out here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.